So what'd you buy at the Home Depot?
It's none of your business.
But I can corroborate your story by knowing that. And if we can narrow down a timeline.
Okay. We just keep trying.
But
Damn, what a boss. This suspect has got the detectives on the ropes.
you didn't tie him up in the church parking lot.
I did.
We both know that's not true.
You might think whatever you want, but I know it is true, yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, somebody comes along, sees a dog, loads up a huge dog into their car,
I don't know what they did.
and it's tied up with a rope that you left them with. And it's on video.
What's on video?
You return the dog.
How's it on video?
We installed cameras at that residence.
Oh my, how the tide has turned. What exactly is going on here? Let's start at the beginning. On a crisp, early potato morning, a Boise police officer responded to a report of vandalism. When he arrived at the caller's home, he found that the caller's Ford Escape, the caller's mother's Saturn SL1, and the caller's stepfather's Subaru Outback, as well as his Toyota RAV4, all had something in common. They all had 4 of their tires slashed open. Well, except for the RAV4. The RAV4 only had 2 slashed tires. I wonder why the vandals spared the Toyota 2 tires, the potato-shaped police cop wondered aloud. Perhaps he is an employee of Toyota, or maybe a Redditor. Redditors love the RAV4. Upon hearing this, the victim immediately called the police once more and requested a more capable detective to be assigned to the case. 5 minutes later, the sound of a helicopter sliced through the early morning haze. Below, the victim/caller peered up and squinted. She was barely able to make out the sounds of human voices emanating from the helicopter. "Are you ready for this, Steven?" the pilot shouted over the roar of the blades. Steven Seagal, legendary martial artist and actor-turned-detective, adjusted his sunglasses and gave a confident nod. In mere seconds, Steven was standing before the caller, ready to serve justice. The woman told Steven that she already had an idea of who had done this to her family's cars. It must have been Joel Waters, the man who had burned down her house in Oregon. She had a protection order against Joel, yet he would nonetheless constantly harass her, showing up to her residence and sending her a constant flow of unwanted emails. Unfortunately, she had no hard evidence to tie the tire slashing to Joel. Great. Just what I need, Steven sighed. Steven had gotten in trouble before for assaulting someone without sufficient evidence, and so he decided to call it a day. Steven readied his grappling hook and took aim at the helicopter above. But then the victim said something that made Steven freeze. "Joel also kidnapped my dogs." "Dogs? That changes things. Dogs don't just get mixed up in vandalism cases without reason. What else do we know?" "He took my dogs from my car when I left them in my car at Home Depot. Shortly thereafter, he sent me a text offering to trade them to me for my pickup truck, which he claims is his." "Let me see those texts," Steven demanded. The victim handed over her phone. "I will bring the world down around you. I will ruin your life. I've been planning this for weeks. If you dare testify against me in court, I will sewer slide." The text messages went on and on. It was honestly too much reading for Steven. "Let's get this mother trucker," Steven said under his breath. Mere minutes later, the perpetrator, Joel Waters, was sitting in front of a detective in a police interrogation room. Let's see how it went.
Let me tell you why they brought you here.
Stalking.
Okay.
Like I said,
Yeah, you have a warrant.
I looked yesterday. I didn't see anything.
It might have not have got posted, but there is a warrant.
Can I see it?
No, because it's at the jail. But when you get to the jail, what'll happen is after I chat with you for a second, they'll the patrol officer will run you over, and before they can get you in, they have to have the warrant in hand. but it's over there at the jail.
Is there bail on it?
Yeah, 100,000.
Oh,
Well, 100,000 if you paid the whole thing, 10,000 I think if you go through a bail bonds.
why is it so much?
I have no idea. I'm not the detective who investigated your case. They just
I
asked.
just looked yesterday. There was no warrant.
Yeah, there is today, 100%.
I just looked like literally last night. I mean, it would have had to been signed this morning.
No, it was probably signed a few days ago. It always takes a few days to get posted, if that makes sense. All right,
Okay, how do I have a warrant out of Idaho? I haven't been doing anything. I haven't even been down here.
Okay, can I read you your rights real quick and then I'll chat with you? You understand you have rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to an attorney for advice before you ask any questions and have it with you during questioning. If you so desire and cannot afford one, an attorney will be appointed to you without charge before questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without an attorney present, you'll still have the right to stop answering any time. You'll also have the right to stop answering any time until you talk to an attorney. Do you understand each of those rights?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions about them? All right, having your rights in mind, you want to talk to me.
I don't even, yeah, a little bit. I have questions. I have questions.
Ask away. And if I know the answer, I will tell you, 100%.
How do I have a warrant out of Idaho if I haven't even been in Idaho? I just got here last night.
And where'd you come from?
Out of state.
Like, where were you living? Where were you staying? Where were you residing?
I don't really have a house right now.
Like, what state did you come from?
Not this one. I wasn't in the state.
Okay.
I wasn't in the state, so how do I haven't even been staying in the state.
And the only reason I'm asking, if you tell me where you came from, maybe there's a record that you were there to prove that you weren't in the state.
I could show that proof that I wasn't in state.
And what proof would that be?
Where I was staying. I have a receipt.
Okay, so where were you staying?
I was staying at a campground at the ski slope in Anthony Lakes.
Anthony Lakes. And where's that at? I'm not a skier. Apologize.
Just outside of Baker.
Oh, okay, so not too far.
3 hours.
Yeah. And you got in when?
Last night.
Last night. Okay. Because we talked.
Got there last night.
Okay. So when's the last time you were in Boise previous to going to, can we just say Baker?
I stayed up in Baker for 5 days.
Okay. So today is Thursday. And so you're telling me you left Sunday to go to Baker?
No, I was up there since Friday.
Okay, since Friday. So you're there almost a whole week because today's Thursday.
Right.
Christmas Eve. And previous to that, where were you staying in Boise?
I wasn't in Boise previous to that.
Okay, so where were you previous to Baker?
All over. Wherever I felt like staying.
Uh-huh. In Boise or?
No, I wasn't. I haven't been in Idaho.
Okay, so when's the last time you were in Boise, Idaho?
I don't remember, to be honest. It's been a while.
Look, can you ballpark it?
No?
Dude, I have no idea the last time. You used to live here, correct?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Is it finalized?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know what.
You're telling me new news.
No. Are you still about it?
Obviously.
Yeah. So what's the relationship like right now?
We don't talk.
Okay.
I haven't spoke to her since September.
Since so early September, late September.
The day she left was September 21st.
Okay, September 21st. And she stays here.
I don't know where she stays.
You don't know if she's in Boise?
I don't know where she stays.
Okay. Did you guys in that house?
No one.
Was it a rental? Was it a? Well, you said no one lives there, so that's why.
Well, I guess I don't know.
Okay.
Last I heard, the power and everything was shut off. There hasn't been anybody staying there from friends that I have that live up there. There's nobody, because I'm not allowed to go there. And as far as I know, she hasn't been staying there.
Okay.
She may be. I don't know.
So when's the last time you were at that residence?
But I don't remember.
Okay. Because there's also a report that you took the dogs out of her car at a Home Depot.
I
Well, not really a report. There's surveillance cameras all over Home Depot.
okay.
So how come you took the dogs? I mean, they're your dogs.
They're my dog.
Yeah. So how'd you know she was at the Home Depot?
I didn't.
Then how'd you get the dogs?
I saw.
Okay. And when was this?
I don't remember.
I mean, ballpark. Like how long have you? One of the dogs you took is the dog that was with you today, correct?
No.
Oh, so you guys have 3 dogs.
No, we have 2 dogs. She has a dog. I have a dog.
Okay. Cooper. Was Cooper one of the dogs in the car at the Home Depot?
It wasn't at Home Depot.
Okay. Well, where did you get the dogs out of the car?
There's a Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath & Beyond. So, and when was this?
I don't remember.
I mean, was it months ago? Was it years ago? Was it
A couple weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago? Okay. So you were just lucky to see.
Depot, and I was driving out of there, and I looked over, and there was the car.
And that's the Home Depot on Milwaukee?
No,
Okay. The which one?
it's the one over off Federal Way.
Federal Way. Oh, I can see how that could happen. They're right beside each other.
Right.
Yeah. Don't they touch?
Yeah, I think they're connected.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
I was
Okay.
literally just leaving there, and I looked over, and I saw the car, and my dogs were in there.
Okay.
The door, walked over and opened the door. Got my dogs.
But you only have one right now. What'd you do with the other one?
I don't like the other dog, Piper. So at that point, I let the dog go with a phone number and an address on it.
Let it go where?
Loose.
Weren't you worried about being hit by a car or anything? Or?
Not really.
Huh. Because from what I understand, the dog ended up back at her place.
Good. That's why I put the phone number and address on her.
Okay. But she never got a call from anybody. It just ended up tied to the front of her house.
Okay. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know.
It's quite a coincidence.
Maybe.
But at least the dog got home.
Right.
That's what's important. Correct?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said a couple of weeks ago.
What are we talking about?
When you got the dogs.
Okay.
Can we narrow that down a little bit better?
Not really.
Because you initially said you haven't been here since September.
I just haven't been here in a while.
Well, we were in Baker. You were in Baker, Oregon.
I was in Baker, yeah. I said I've been all over.
Yeah. And then previous to that, you said somewhere else. But the dog incident wasn't that long ago. So I'm just trying to get it right in my head so it makes sense to me.
Okay.
So you had to have come to Boise at some point in the last couple of weeks.
I went to Home Depot.
Yes.
I needed supplies.
Okay. What did you buy at Home Depot?
Does it really matter?
Well, I'm curious because if that is true, then we can pull receipts and surveillance video and it'll show you buying something and it would make sense that you'd see the car. So what did you buy at the Home Depot?
Don't remember.
You don't remember what you bought? You came all the way
Oh,
in
supplies.
I know. You came all the way in town from Baker, Oregon to buy supplies at Home Depot and you don't remember what it is?
Does it really matter?
Well, it does, because that makes sense that if you went to a Home Depot and bought something, and then you saw the car, wouldn't that make sense?
It makes sense anyways, yeah.
But if I know what you bought, then I can track that purchase and I can go, he was there getting stuff and he saw the dog. So what'd you buy at the Home Depot?
It's none of your business.
But I can corroborate your story by knowing that. And if we can narrow down a timeline.
Okay. We just keep trying.
But I'm
I don't
trying to
remember the date. I don't remember the time.
Mhm.
It was a while ago. I've been having a lot of shit going on in my life lately that I'm not going to pinpoint anything for you.
Okay. But you don't want to tell me what you bought.
I don't remember. Can I say that? I've said it 4 times now.
Yeah.
Why do you keep asking the same stupid question? I don't remember.
Well, it's important to your case. That's why I'm curious.
I'll have a lawyer. We'll figure it out.
Okay. So do you want a lawyer now?
I don't know. Right now, I just woke up. I have no idea what I want.
Okay.
I want to go home for Christmas, but that doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it really matter? I don't even understand how you guys got me on literally anything. Like you guys aren't even telling me what exactly I supposedly did. Other than stalking. How do I stalk? I don't even know where she is.
Uh-huh.
How is that stalking?
I wish I knew.
See, that's... You guys picked me up on a charge that I've been out of state 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live here. I don't... How is that stalking? And felony stalking on top of that. How is that even felony stalking?
Well, I know what felony stalking is. I just don't know the specifics.
Okay, what is it?
I just don't know the specifics of your case. That's all.
How do you get a felony stalking case?
Do you guys have is there a protection order in place? Is there a...
There's a protection order out of Oregon.
Okay.
That's why I don't understand why anything wouldn't be through Oregon instead of why is it through Boise? I don't understand it. This whole thing doesn't make sense to me.
Yes. And I know you're aggravated and I wish I had all the answers for you. I really do. The issue is that the detective who investigated your case is off today. And so they asked
And
me...
he's going to be off until through the new year, I'm sure.
Well, it really doesn't matter for your case specifically right now because you already have the warrant. So you go to...
I know, but when do I see a judge then?
You'll see a judge tomorrow.
On Christmas Day?
Probably the next day. Sorry. I've been working all week. I'm even confused on what day it is. So Monday, I think.
And I don't have any paperwork on anything of what's going on, and I'm not going to know anything until Monday.
No. They'll show you the warrant when you get to the jail.
The warrant, yeah, but it's not going to explain anything. It's just going to say stalking, felony.
Yes.
So I'm just going to sit here for the next few days, not knowing even why I'm here.
Well, you know why stalking.
No, I don't. How am I stalking?
I don't know.
See, that's what this is stupid. Take me in then. Let's go.
All right. You don't want to chat anymore?
What are we chatting about? I have no idea why I'm here.
Well,
You're just asking a bunch of questions that I don't know the answers to.
Well, I don't know the answers either. That's why I was asking.
Doesn't matter if I answer them or not. It's not like it's going to get me out of jail, right?
No, but
So what's the point of answering them?
it would make more sense with your case, especially the
There's
Home
no
Depot
point in
thing.
answering them.
Especially the Home Depot thing.
What about Home Depot? Who cares about Home Depot?
If I knew what you bought and I could show you were there for a legitimate purpose, then I say, yeah, he was there for a legitimate purpose.
What's it matter if I bought anything at Home Depot or not? What's it matter?
Because it would be more credible that you were there buying something, then saw the car. Or the reverse of that, or the opposite side of that, is that you've been following her and you knew she was there.
Where did she come from?
Oh, I have no idea. I wasn't there. But if
How would you following her?
But if you were at the Home Depot buying something and then saw the car, that makes sense. But at the same time, you mentioned the lawyer. Do you want a lawyer? Do you want me to read you your rights again? Because we kind of have to.
Oh my God. I'm going to take a nap. Sorry.
You still have your rights in mind.
I know my rights.
Okay. So do you still want to chat or do you just want to end it? Or talk to an attorney as you referenced a lawyer?
I really like a cigarette, is what I like.
Let me give you a minute.
For what?
I don't know, think about what you want to do.
I'm going to jail is what I'm doing.
Yes, ultimately, there's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
Because it warrants signed by a judge. But do you want to explain your side of it more to me, or do you just want to?
There's no. You don't even know the other side, so how am I supposed to explain myself?
Well,
Timothy, you don't know any of the information. You don't know
If I
anything
can
that's going
count-
on. So
if
how
I
am I
can
supposed to
count-
explain anything to you if we don't even know anything that's going on?
But if I can account for your time, legitimate time over the last couple of months, then that's good for you. Right?
I can explain for myself. I don't really have to explain to you. I'm not here to. You're not my judge and my jury and my executioner.
No.
The judge is.
100%.
You are not.
Yeah.
So why am I answering questions for you?
Because I'm a fact finder, that's all. I'm just
Okay,
trying to gather up the facts.
Okay.
And then I put it in a report. And then, the prosecutor, the defense counsel reads it. But it's up to you if you want to try to account for your time over the last month in a more clear manner. That's what I'm looking for. Do you want a couple minutes? Do you want me to get you some more water?
I'd like a cigarette.
I don't know if we have any.
I have them. I had cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't know if we brought them. Let me double check on that. I'll be right back. I got the water coming. Better after the smoke?
A little bit.
Do you want to chat?
I don't.
I actually know a lot more now. I talked to the detective.
Okay.
So, I apologize if you didn't know that. You've been emailing her about her dog
When?
within the last week.
No.
So, we have those emails,
Okay.
and you're saying it's not you.
I haven't emailed her. I haven't done anything.
You haven't emailed or called,
No.
because she's been getting a lot of calls from a blocked number.
Okay.
Who else would be calling her?
I don't know.
Do you have any? I can totally understand that you're curious about. Ambivalent or
I don't. I'm frustrated.
I totally understand that.
I don't even know why. September and never another word.
Well,
No closure, nothing.
I get it. You don't see a ring finger. No ring on my finger. There was one for a lot of years. It's a shitty deal. And you guys lived in Oregon?
You know.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, I had so since, back to the Home Depot thing. I apologize. What car were you in when you were at the Home Depot?
I was in the Escape.
Is the Escape that you have, and you have your dog in right now. I apologize.
Correct.
That's a Ford Escape.
Yes.
Okay. And whose car is that? But I'm just curious. Your skis are on it. And did you have the trailer at the Home Depot attached to the Ford Escape? Okay, so just the Ford Escape. All right. That makes it
Right
right.
before I went to the Home Depot, I was at Flying J. I had a hamburger right there, drove over there.
Okay. And was the door unlocked or locked to the car?
I don't recall.
Because it was broken into.
Maybe it was broken into.
The car where the dogs were at.
How was it broken into?
Because the doors were locked. I think that's your one. You're good, buddy. You're good, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, brother. Yeah, so the car was broken into because the doors were locked. But it's your dog. I'd do the same thing.
I didn't break anything.
Well, how'd you get into the car if the car was locked?
Was anything broken on the car?
Well, the car was broken into because the doors were locked.
How was it broken into?
Well, if I lock my front door and you come through it, however means possible, you're breaking into my house, right? You have a key for the car.
No.
Well, then how did you get into a locked car?
That's what I'm saying. I never broke into it. I don't have keys to that car.
So how'd you get the dog out?
I opened the door.
But the door's locked.
Are we sure the doors were locked?
I'm pretty sure. But you admit it wasn't your car, and you probably shouldn't have gone into it.
Actually,
Did she send it over to you?
she never did officially sign it over, no.
Well, if she gave it to you, well, who was driving it?
I have no idea.
Well, if makes sense. Does she drive that car all the time?
Who? So she would never give us the title. Like and she didn't know where it was. She couldn't find the damn title. And then they bought tires for it, and then they put stipulations on it. And at some point, we just said that we don't want the car anymore because you guys put too many stipulations on it. So we gave it back to them. Told them just keep it.
How long ago was that?
3 months ago.
Okay. So they gave you the car, then you gave it back, so it wasn't your car.
Technically, I don't know whose car it is.
Well, you said you gave it back,
Yeah,
and the title was never signed over.
it was never signed over. No.
So
Technically,
but you had no ownership of the car.
as a standpoint of correct, as a standpoint of illegal, we never did.
Yeah. So if you don't own a vehicle or have permission, you can't go in the vehicle.
Okay.
I mean, does that make sense? Like, I can't go in your vehicle
You guys are in my vehicle right now.
unless you're, actually or not, but I can't go in your vehicle without your permission.
Does that mean you have to give everybody permission that is going to get in your vehicle?
Well, yeah, yes.
Right before anybody gets in your car, say, okay, you have permission to enter my vehicle.
No, but it's common knowledge that if you don't want somebody in your vehicle, you don't want,
Even if your possessions are in the vehicle.
so you wouldn't want anybody to just come get in your vehicle if it's parked out on the street or in a parking lot.
Not just anybody, no. Unless I have their belongings in there.
Well, it doesn't matter about belongings. That's a civil issue. You'd sue somebody civilly to get your belongings back if they wouldn't give them back. But you can't go into somebody's residence or vehicle without their permission. So
I've had permission to get in the car.
Okay.
Nobody told me I couldn't get in the car. I've had the car. I've owned the car. I've been in the car numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous times. I drove the car to work every day for months.
Mm-hmm. So
For months, I drove that car.
I talked to the detective, and it was last Monday or Tuesday, the Home Depot, when you got the dogs.
A couple weeks ago.
Well, it'd be about a week and a half ago. And then you kept, is it Piper? The other dog?
Yeah,
Okay, and then you kept Piper for a couple of days.
a couple of days.
Yeah. And then you emailed.
I didn't email about the dog.
About the dog. Because, okay, and so then you took the dog back.
No. I
So-
never took the dog back. I literally let the dog go.
Where did you let it go?
Where did I let her go? It was there was a church over off of Howell, I believe. Let's not go in the parking lot over there.
Howell. Is that downtown?
It's no. I think that's what the name road name is.
Like HOW?
E.
Howell Street. What part of town is that? Like, because I
Like
recognize the street name.
down by the university.
Okay, that makes sense. The and then the dog just miraculously shows up tied to the front of the house.
I don't know what happened to the dog after that.
But why did you keep it for a few days?
Because it's my dog.
But you said you can't stand that dog.
I don't really like that dog. The dog that has major issues. The dog it has issues.
What type of dog is that?
It's a Great Dane.
Oh, no kid.
Great Dane Lab.
Quite a mix. So, have you shipped?
Where? Months. I've only been there. Literally, I left an iPad on her car.
Mhm.
That was beginning maybe October or the end of September. That was the last time.
Was that your guys' iPad, or
Yeah.
you were just returning it?
I wrote her. That was right after she left. Within a few days after she left, I wrote her something on it, and I left it out in the car.
Okay.
And I was trying to get her to contact me, and that was the only way that I could get her to try to even talk to me.
Okay.
So I left the iPad on her car.
And I apologize. Were you guys living in Boise or Oregon at that time?
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. So, what happened to your house?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Our house is our house.
Yeah, well, what happened to it?
I don't know.
So, you have no idea of what's going on with the house?
No.
Well, it's got to be worth some money, aren't you? You didn't want the papers.
I would have accepted the papers if
Well-
I didn't serve the papers.
And I don't know. All I know is that I talked to the detective and it was Monday or Tuesday. That's all I know.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about any of that.
Okay. So you don't know that your house was set on fire?
When was it set on fire?
It's been set on fire twice. Once not long ago,
As in,
a couple of weeks. I don't know the specifics on that because it's in Oregon.
okay.
You don't seem surprised. I mean, if somebody told me my house caught on fire, I'd be a lot more surprised.
What am I supposed to do? I'm sitting here, I'm worried about other things at the same time. Like, you're giving me all kinds of information that I'm trying to take in all at once. I just found out there's a house fire.
2.
What do you mean 2 house fires?
They got set on fire twice. The second time to the ground.
It's burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. So we just lost everything.
Yes.
There wasn't really much whatever.
So you said that you were
It burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Last I heard, it was all boarded up. And there was a fence around our house.
When's the last time you were there?
Oh, it's been a long time. The last time I saw it was the day she took my pickup from me.
Was that like last year or?
No, it was just a month ago.
A month ago?
We were moving. I had some of my friends moving a bunch of stuff out of the place into a storage unit. And that's when somebody was using my pickup to move some of the stuff out, and the cops made the person leave the pickup there, and then she came and got my pickup. Which was a civil matter. It was bullshit.
Yeah, and it
was bullshit.
Oh, I'm not. He left, and that was, I think you said September. So, what's your connection to Boise?
There is no connection. I have no connection to Boise.
Well, why did you come here?
My friend lives here. That's the only reason. Came down to spend Christmas with him.
And then there's also some talk about a tracker on her car.
Tracker?
Yeah. Do you know anybody who'd want to put a tracker on her car?
When was the tracker on her car?
Within the last week.
I had a tracker on all of our vehicles when we had them.
Why?
Why not?
I mean,
my vehicles.
I've never heard of it. Yeah, you can put your vehicle. You can put trackers on anything. I just never heard of somebody put trackers on all their cars. I mean, what was the reason?
There is no reason.
Well, then why'd you put them on there?
Because then you know where your vehicles are. I have them on my Harleys. I have them on all kinds of stuff.
Aren't those kind of expensive?
What?
Trackers.
No.
Never bought
$10 a month.
Oh, no kidding. It's like a service. So you got to buy the little device and then you pay for the service. Oh. Never heard of it. So who do you go through for your trackers?
Verizon.
Verizon has their own trackers?
No, it's not necessarily a tracker.
What is it?
It's just a deal with the GPS on it.
Oh. And that goes through Verizon. Is that who you have your phone through?
No. I don't technically even have a phone service.
Oh. Do you own a phone?
I own a phone. Yeah, I own one phone.
Okay.
I haven't really had a phone since she left, though.
No.
When she took my pickup, literally all my stuff was in there.
Uh-huh.
And that was the last time I had a phone.
Okay. And you said you were at your place in Oregon within the last month, or a month ago.
It's been more than a month.
Is that when it was boarded up with a fence around it?
No, I don't know when it was boarded up with a fence around it.
Oh.
I have friends from up there that I've spoken to and the old neighbors from the house. I talked to them a couple of times. I was selling all the wood that I split and cut and everything to one of my neighbors. That was the last time I heard anything about the house.
Why was it boarded up?
Because there was a fire. That was the first fire. But it wasn't bad from the sounds of it.
So how'd that, I'm sure that was investigated. How,
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
so were you guys home at the time or?
Nobody lived there.
Um,
Neither one of us lived there. I haven't lived there since they told me to get out.
Is that when you had the protection order?
Correct.
Okay. So you knew about the first fire?
I did. But it wasn't bad. It didn't seem bad. The house was still standing. It didn't seem like there was much happened.
Uh-huh. So what about the second fire?
I have no idea. I just heard about it. I literally just heard about it.
So you had nothing to do with that?
No.
So,
How?
well, put yourself in my shoes. A legitimate question to ask, did you set your house on fire?
Yeah.
I mean, so you understand?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I mean, who else would, set a house on fire twice?
Money.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gotten. We bought the house way under what it was valued. Why would I throw a 40 or 50 grand away? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it does to be more.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm a cop. I totally get that. That's a ton of money.
So why would I do that? It makes no sense.
Well, why do you keep violating the protection order?
I'm not violating the protection order.
Well, you're.
Okay.
So you keep violating the protection order. You come to Boise and you have trackers on a car.
So that means that any of our mutual friends I'm not allowed to talk to either?
Hold on.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm just trying to have it make sense in my mind. You are violating the protection order.
How am I violating the protection order?
The house burns down twice. You have trackers on a car and you show up in Boise.
I don't have trackers on any car.
I thought you said you put trackers on all your cars.
I did. At one time, yeah, I did.
And then you took them all off?
There's not one on the Escape or the... Yeah, I think I took them all off.
So where are those now?
I don't know. All my stuff is scattered so everywhere right now. I don't know where everything is right now. Honestly.
But when you had the trackers, you went through Verizon.
Yes.
Okay. How long ago did you have an account with Verizon for the trackers?
How long ago? Until just... When did all the phones get shut off? Whenever the phones got all shut off.
Do you remember when that was?
No.
I would know when my phone got shut off. It's kind of like living in the dark ages.
It's been... I don't know. They were all in her name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like our phone bill everything was in her name. I don't know whenever she shut them off. I don't know.
Did she know about the trackers?
She knew that we had gizmo watches, yeah.
Gizmo watches or trackers?
The same thing.
Okay. I have a couple more questions, but I need to call the detective real quick. So give me a couple minutes, okay? Sorry, one of the patrol officers just mentioned that you wanted your phone to go with you to jail. You still want that?
No, I don't need it.
Okay. Back on the house. The burning down of the house. Who do you think would have done that? Like twice.
How do we know that somebody set it on fire?
Well, you said you knew it.
I said I knew it was on fire.
Well, then, if it's on fire, somebody would have had to set it, right?
Not necessarily.
How else would it happen?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. So, the houses just catch on fire by themselves? Twice?
Actually, the house has been set on fire 3 times. It's been on fire 3 times. It was on fire before we ever even owned it.
So, how did that one happen?
I don't know. I didn't own it.
You didn't ask when you bought it?
No. We knew that it was in one of the rooms from downstairs, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually even find out until after we bought it.
Well, they have to disclose that.
It was. Well, I don't think it was in the disclosure.
Okay. Yeah, you got screwed by your realtor for not disclosing that.
I just happened to talk to somebody else that used to live in the house, and they told me about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Back on the emails.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the context of those?
Piper.
You just, subject line is Piper, you didn't say anything else?
I don't exactly recall what was in the emails.
But you don't remember what's in them?
Not exactly, not 100%, no.
How many do you think you sent to her?
3, 4.
Then it was how to get the dog back, that you let the dog go.
Yeah.
Did you tell her where you let the dog go?
I wasn't going to keep Piper, and that the medication is too much, and I just wanted her to know that what happened to Piper or the dogs, and that because I was just going to drop her off at the Humane Society, at the Humane Society.
Piper.
That way that if they wanted to go find Piper, that they could.
Uh-huh.
That way that I didn't want. I would still like to see Piper be where she should be.
Then that's back.
I released the dog and put the phone number and an address on it. I mean, I put the address. I don't know if I put the phone number on it or not, but pretty sure I put. Probably September or beginning of October.
And is that after?
It was just before I got served my papers on my restraining order. I had to get the dogs back that time too.
So, post restraining order, you dropped the dogs off at Debbie's.
What?
Meaning, after you got the restraining order paperwork, you were served, then you took the dogs to Debbie.
No.
Oh, I thought you said you had to return them.
No, I never said anything about returning the dogs.
Well, you said you had to return the dogs that time too.
No, I said I went and got the dogs.
Oh, sorry, I misheard. And so, how long did you have the dogs at that time?
Well, only a couple of days because that's when they kicked me out of the house.
house in Oregon.
Our house in Oregon.
Okay.
So at that time, I had a friend going over to the house and feeding the dogs and stuff for us, and then all her stuff, and she took the dogs.
Okay. And so I'm still I know you have a friend here in Boise, Idaho, but don't you, I mean, at least sitting where I'm sitting, you show up in Boise, there's communication, take 2 dogs out of a vehicle that you don't have any right to enter the vehicle.
It used to be my car. I had the right. Nobody told me I wasn't allowed to.
Okay. But you entered the vehicle and you took 2 dogs. Correct? From the Home Depot parking lot, or the one next to it, sorry.
Yeah, I took the dogs out of the car.
Okay.
I'm not denying that.
Yeah, and then you kept them for a couple days.
No, I kept them for a couple weeks.
Okay, kept them for a couple weeks.
I still have Cooper.
Yep, and you did. And during that time, you sent 3. And you've had trackers on cars.
Yeah, on all of our vehicles.
Yeah. So but you don't know where the trackers are now.
They're all shut off.
Okay. Do you remember what make it was, the trackers?
No.
Like, I don't know anything about trackers. You obviously purchased more than one, and you don't.
No, there was only one. I just switched them between vehicles, or maybe there was 2.
I've never heard of somebody who put trackers on their cars.
It depends on if we were leaving or not, where we were going, what we were doing. We had trackers on each other.
You guys put trackers on each other?
We tracked each other's cell phones. We knew where we were at all times. We always did.
Is that something that...
She's the one that like on our cell phones and stuff, she's the one that wanted to be able to do that, because I was always riding my Harley, I was always out and about, I was always doing something. That way she knew where I was.
Uh-huh. So...
We tracked each other all the time. It wasn't...
So somehow Piper gets returned to the house.
I dropped Piper off in the church parking lot.
On how?
I believe that's its street name, yes.
It would make more sense that you dropped the dog off.
I'm not allowed to go to that house.
Well, so you're saying you take the dog out of your car, you put a note on it, and you just let it run loose in hopes that it doesn't get hit by a car and it gets returned somehow.
No, I in the church parking lot, I tied the dog up there with a note and let the dog go.
So now you tied him up in the church parking lot.
I tied him, yeah. There was a rope that I had. I tied her up. I put a note and on her, and that was what I did. Figured somebody would probably return her.
So Piper's probably a big dog.
Piper's a big dog.
So how much does Piper weigh?
Probably 100 pounds.
That's a big dog. So somebody walks by, sees the dog, is not intimidated by the big dog, loads it up.
She's not a mean dog.
I know, but even nice dogs, big dogs generally people don't. So somebody drives by, sees a big dog.
So Piper's a timid dog. Piper was probably scared, and she gets really timid. She shakes, you can tell it's a scared dog. You're probably...
I get how you don't, I understand, but make it understand in my mind. You took the dog and you dropped it off and you did the right thing. That's the right thing. You didn't tie him up in the church parking lot.
I did.
We both know that's not true.
You might think whatever you want, but I know what is true, yeah.
Okay. So Like I said, somebody comes along, sees a dog, loads up a huge dog into their car,
I don't know what they did.
and it's tied up with a rope that you left them with. And it's on video.
What's on video?
You returning the dog.
How's it on video?
We installed cameras at that residence.
Okay.
So that's what I'm just trying to get you to understand that I understand if you take the dog back. That makes sense.
I never took the dog back.
Then why is it? Okay. So we go in and we hit play on the video and it shows you returning the dog.
Let's see the video.
How do you explain that?
Let's see the video.
Well, I don't have it right in front of me.
Well, then how can you say that then? Have you seen the video?
No, but the detective has that is investigating this, and I just
And
got
you
a
can see
text.
me on the video.
I just got a text that says it's on video.
And you see me on the video.
Yes. And it activated our alarm that we put on the house.
And it's me.
Yes.
It's not me.
We're going to ask him, and I guarantee.
Ask him. He didn't put the dog there.
So who did?
I don't know.
Damn, just saying. And somebody does it at night.
I dropped the dog off at night in the area.
Why wouldn't the Good Samaritan who loaded up the dog and took him there knock on the front door and say, "Hey, your dog's back"?
I don't know if they did. Did they knock on the door?
I have no idea.
Well, you guys have the video.
I wasn't there. You were.
I wasn't there.
Then who did you have do it then?
I didn't have anybody do it.
How come there was a tracker on?
Huh?
Did you leave one on there from when you had it previously?
Maybe. I don't recall.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
What happened with my house?
Well, you're the one that was there.
I was where?
There when you started the fire.
Oh my God. You can't just answer a question, huh?
I wasn't there at the time.
I wasn't there either.
Then how did it get caught on fire?
I don't know. Did it get set on fire on inside, outside? These are the questions I had. That's why I'm asking what happened with my house.
Well, when they boarded the place up, I'd imagine they turn off all the utilities, so it can't be caused from gas or an electrical fire
Okay.
because it was boarded up.
So was the fire started outside, inside? What happened?
I have no idea.
Either do I. That's why. So you have no. Then why are you accusing me of it then?
Well, it doesn't make sense to you, switching roles for a second, that somebody who is getting divorced doesn't want to get a divorce, shows up in Boise, ends up with 2 dogs that he took out of a car, and
Have they even investigated the house?
yes, they're currently yes.
And so what are they saying happened?
I don't know because it's Oregon State Police.
Okay.
They have arson investigators.
Okay.
And if you think I don't know much about your case, I know nothing about that. Other than I got a text from an Oregon State arson investigator and said, ask him about the fire. And I said, okay.
They never even questioned me after the first fire.
Well, not the first one, because you didn't live there.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I've never even been questioned about any of it.
well, you've probably been kind of hard to find.
What do you mean? It's pretty easy to email me.
Well, I don't know if that is your email. I have no idea. Then what is your email?
You guys have my email.
I don't have it in front of me. I'm curious. I mean, is it your name, gmail.com, or what?
Oh my God. So my house is burnt to the ground.
That's what I understand. Of course, I haven't seen it.
So is the Oregon wanting me for something then?
I know they want to talk to you.
So why don't they come talk to me then?
Well, imagine trying to get somebody to come across state lines to interview somebody. It's a pain in the butt. But then,
So is this the only thing that's holding me then?
no, you're getting arrested on a warrant out of Ada County for stalking. if you have 10 grand.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or through bail bond.
10 grand through the bail bondsman.
Right.
Yeah.
I know how that works.
Yeah.
So then, but there's nothing else holding me.
No.
All right, let's go.
Well,
Go bail out.
okay. Do you think you can bail out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Let me double check something real quick. All right, we'll get you transported over to the Ada County Jail. Just to let you know, you'll also be arrested today on burglary and grand theft.
What?
So you'll see a
Hey,
judge.
wait a second. What did I, grand theft?
Yeah,
What did I steal?
the dogs.
They're my dogs.
And then the burglary is from entering the vehicle.
They're my dogs.
No,
How's that stealing my dogs?
I don't know. I'm not writing that up either.
Wait, time out. How can I steal my own dogs?
Maybe they're not your dogs.
They are my dogs.
Can you prove that?
Yes.
From,
Paperwork.
where's the paperwork?
That's Steve's.
Okay, we'll go.
I have to be, Piper's even chipped in my name. Piper's chipped in my name. Cooper I got.
I don't know.
Cooper, like all the vet records, everything is in my name.
I have no idea about that. But because,
So you just went out there and then now they're pressing more charges because I was going to bail out.
no, but you'll see a judge on Monday.
Dude, that's not right. How much? I didn't steal anything. They're my dogs. I can prove that they're my dogs.
Well, you did enter a vehicle and take something.
I didn't. I opened the door.
That's called burglary.
It's not burglary.
It's entering a place to commit a theft. That's what.
Nobody said that. I thought it was my car for years. Like for, I should say years, months.
We already
And I drove that vehicle for months.
We already established that you didn't have the title in your name and you gave it back, correct?
Yes.
So it's not your vehicle.
No, but I was always allowed to get in it before. Why would I not be allowed to get in it now?
No, probably because of the protection order. That probably doesn't help. If you can't go to the house, you probably can't enter their vehicle. Probably shouldn't be entering their vehicles.
My dogs were in there.
You entered the vehicles.
I didn't enter the vehicle.
You opened the door.
I opened the door.
That's entering. If I open the bank vault, I just entered. So I'm just here to tell you about the 2 additional charges
For grand theft.
and burglary.
I didn't steal anything.
That's what we have courts for.
How can I steal my own stuff?
Apparently, it's not your stuff.
It is my stuff.
That's what the judge will decide.
Are you kidding me?
No,
So you guys are just fucking me over.
I'm not doing anything. I just came to chat with you.
Huh.
That's it.
I have paperwork on all the dogs that they're mine.
Okay.
They're chipped. You go read the chip on the dog.
Well,
It's chipped in my name.
I don't have a chip reader.
Well, that's. So you guys are charging me on something without even questioning me.
Well, I just did.
Yeah, but they're my dogs.
Well, apparently somebody thinks otherwise.
Who?
Prosecutor?
That's bullshit.
I don't know.
So okay, how much more did my bail just go up?
I have no idea. You'll have to see a judge on Monday, and then they'll set bail.
Oh, so it's a no bail.
Yeah, it's a
So that's what you guys did to me.
It's a felony.
That's what you did out there. You just went and had it set as no bail. You just called them. That's bullshit.
No, it's a felony.
What's a felony?
Burglary and grand theft.
I didn't burglarize anything.
But regardless of that, and that's why we have courts, when you see a judge on Monday, they set bail. Is how that works. Does that make sense?
No.
Well,
That makes sense that you just went out there and fucked me some more.
that's our system.
You just fucking people over?
Well, no, it's no. That's the system we have when you get arrested on a felony.
How am I being, how's it a felony? Okay, wait, how is it a felony?
Why is burglary and grand theft a felony?
I didn't, what did I steal? Grand theft is a car, isn't it? You stealing a car?
No. Anything that's valued over $1,000. By the textbook definition of it.
Okay, so what did I take that's valued over $1,000?
I don't know. I'm not investigating that part. I literally didn't even know your name 2 hours ago.
So this doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me because I don't know all the answers. So,
I didn't steal anything.
okay.
So how is that grand theft?
Let me get a patrol officer over here and we can get you down to the Ada County Jail. And we can get the process moving.
The dogs are all in my name.
Okay.
So that's not theft.
Okay.
And I could prove that right now.
Okay. It's not my case. I just came to tell you. That's all. All right.
So thanks for bucking me on that one. What was I saying?
Joel Waters of Oregon was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for interstate stalking. Just as with Batman, Steven Seagal received no thanks in helping solve this case. But he doesn't need any. He did it for the dogs. Thanks for watching.